Hey guys, this is National Master Ken Yang back at it with another video. This will be the part 2 for my analysis on Seth e5. So, as we picked up on this position, I remember last time telling you that, White's intention is f4, but it's not easy to see if you just put a knight here and you wonder, okay, what do I do once the knight is here, right? And seeing this move is not easy, but knowing that I want to play this move, white playing it would be white's advantage. And so after queen e2, which I thought was very interesting, another shuffling of the queen. So notice how the queen has moved from here to here. Notice how the bishop was here, moved to here. Notice how the knight was here, moved to here. So the pieces are being moved multiple times. And I'd like to once reiterate the point where every time you move a piece, it should always be for a reason, right? You should always have a justification as to why you move the piece. Every move should have a why, right? Every move you make, every progress, something in life, you should always have a justification for doing so. And it's just like chess. You should have a justification for why you make every move. So I made d5, and remember what I talked about in the previous video. I had no intention of doing it until my opponent saw it, but now I realized it was too good to pass on. So I played d5, and after bishop b5, oh man, d4, the royal fork. So what happened? Bishop d2, takes, and I played a6. Now, in this position, I have to wonder, how am I going to defend this pawn, right? That is the first instinct. So I thought, okay, what if I put my knight back? Well, then the bishop's going to take it, and white's going to get this pawn. Then I thought, okay, what if I put my knight there? Then h3, and the knight looks really bad there. But in the end, I did. But I played a6 first. I said, I'm going to kick the bishop first, and I'm going to see where it goes. Right? So if bishop c4 happens, I'm going to play knight c6. So after bishop c4, knight c6. Now you might think there are two attackers on the piece, right? Let's look at it. Bishop takes e5. What goes on? Knight takes e5. Queen takes e5. And look at this move. Knight g4. Threaten the queen, threaten the queen, threaten the queen, threaten the knight. Now you might be thinking, what about queen g3? Let me guard my knight, but look at f4. Shut him down. Shut the lady down. Queen h3. Okay, let me guard that again. Knight takes f2. Bam. Attack the queen, attack the queen, attack the rook, attack the knight. Bam. Game over. Okay, so obviously now you know that's not going to happen. Right, so we examine the variation after knight c6, and you might think, ooh, let me be greedy a little bit, but you will be punished. So instead, let's look at what happened in the game. So after bishop a4, I said, I'm going to play knight g4. Remember what I told you about h3? Here was my hypothesis about h3. After h3, somebody had to see the move knight d5. That was the move I was thinking. And the reason why this works, you might think, ooh, why is this not good for me? Well, you can, but after knight takes, b takes, howdy there, good night, right? So it's these small things that really make a difference. So my intention of playing knight d5 was 1, capturing one of the attackers of the e5 pawn, and 2, attacking the knight at the same time. And by sacrificing this knight, I would have gotten those jobs done. But instead, our member played d4. I decided, you know what? I'll try the same thing on you. Knight d5. Once again, attacking this, attacking this. Not much. And after bishop d2, good night. h3, I move back. Queen takes e5. I played b5. I said, you know what? Let's expand myself. Bishop b3, rook e8. Let's attack the queen. And after queen g3, happily traded. Because now I am up 2 pieces, right? The pawns are fine, but I care about the minor pieces. And after b takes, bishop takes c4, c6, I sort of cement my dynasty right here. And so after c6, I wonder, what am I going to do, right? So after c6, a3, I played knight e4. And with the intention, I was going to either take the pawn or take this pawn. And I start coming for it. Bishop a5 looks good. I mean, right? You might be opening up yourself, right? Looking to more horizons. But this bishop is actually really important here. So try to find a move that helps black break through. You may pause the video or whatever, but I'm going to reveal it right away. Knight e3. Fork, royal, royal. And let me tell you, I spotted this immediately. Now, I am not bragging. I am simply saying that if I was a beginner, I would have not seen this ever. And the reason why I saw it was because I practiced. I've seen the board too many times to tell you, okay, there's a fork here, there's a pawn hanging here, right? So after you play this many games of chess, you'll start realizing that it's more than just the patterns you see in books you read. It is the threats on the board that will become easier, they will look more noticeable, and you will start looking at as if your work paid off. And trust me, every chess book you read, everything you study, everything you do, as long as you're having fun, as long as you're trying, it's going to pay off. So after bishop takes, I said, you know what? I'm still forking one of these guys. Let's just take this. After rook takes f5, our chess club member did forget knight can still go back to f5. After g4, showed another trick of mine, bishop takes d4, with the knight protecting, with a check. So after king h2, you might think the knight is the defender to this, right? Well, check. And now we've freed the knight. So, what about king h1? Well, knight f2. It's very tricky. The knights are a very tricky piece. So, our chess club member just said, you know what, I give up. Rook takes d4, knight takes, bishop e6, c5, setting another devilish trap here. And after a4, rook takes b6, a5, rook takes b2. Let me show you what's incoming. So after h4, rook d8, h5, knight f3. And after knight f3, g takes f3, rook d1. And after king h1, let's look at this beautiful mate, knight g3. So I did have those things incoming, but you notice that the difference between my play and my opponent's play was really because every move I made was making progress, right? So you notice that the bishop was developed to d3. Now this blocked this guy, right? But even though I blocked this guy, I didn't think that I needed him right away. So I said knight e7, right? Slowly develop my pieces h6, and the idea of the queen blocking this rook was a little bit, you know, um, I don't know how to say it, but it felt a little bit wrong to me. After f5, you notice I was right after knight h4. This was my only slip up, this was one of my slip ups, allowing my opponent to play f4. And after queen e2, I mentioned the idea of how after knight h4, could have played d5. So after d5, knight takes, bishop takes, switcheroo on the knight. That's good knight. So I could have played d5 there, but I played knight f6, allowed f4, like I told you already, multiple times. Queen e2, d5, allowing this fork, and then knight g4. I showed the idea of knight d5, threatening the attacker and also threatening another piece on the board. So after d4, did the same thing, a little bit tricky. Seeing the whole board is really important as well. That's another lesson I'll reiterate. So after h3 and all that, so notice how I consolidate my gains by saying, you know what, I'm going to trade, I'm going to set up a very concrete wall, and I'm going to consolidate my advantage. So after the knights come in, the pieces dominate, I look toward freedom. So hope you enjoyed the two-part series of my analysis with Sathi 5. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.